All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends free to play Mr. Richard only champion spotlight. Today we're going to be talking about a wonderful login hero, Scion. Yes, she is the next hero you get in the login. I guess you could call it ordeal, but whatever you want to call it, you get him after you get Cleo for logging in. He takes about 2 months after you get Cleo, and he is yours. So let's look at him. I've not heard great things about him. I've heard he is really cool looking, and I don't know. I heard that from somebody that I know. Like I think my dog told me, but he does look badass. He looks pretty cool, and I want him to be good. But we'll see how he is. We have him built a little bit weird, and I think we're going to change him eventually and maybe give him some attack power over his defense because we want him to stay alive right now because he's been helping us in the demon spawn faction crypt. So we'll see how it goes. But let's look at him and see what his skills are and what he does. So his A1, he attacks one enemy, has 20% chance of placing block active skills debuff for 1 turn. That's not bad on someone like a Valkyrie or anything like that. You can definitely use that. It's never a bad thing, especially on an A1. So it is great. If it was on his A2 or 3 as his primary skill, then probably not. He does have an attack on one enemy, places block buffs debuff, and 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. So this is kind of cool. We'll ignore shield buffs, which is also very cool. So he will block your buffs, and he will block your skills. So kind of nice. Very good stuff for basically stopping annoying heroes from doing what they do. Then he has A3, where he removes all debuffs from this champion, then attacks all enemies, places a 50% increased attack buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on this champion for 1 turn after attacking. So he basically has to hit a second time. I kind of wish that this was before he did the AoE. I think it would make him much cooler because basically what this is going to do is now he's going to remove all the debuffs from himself and then attack everyone. And then he gets the crit damage, the crit attack, the attack and crit damage. Kind of sucks in the sense that it's only going to last for 1 turn, and then by the time it wears off, the AoE it comes up again. So essentially, it's only helping you for your single target attack, which is annoying in its sense. I wish they had put maybe the increased attack and crit damage on, say, this hit, because then he would get the damage attack, and then you could go in with your AoE and hit everybody, which would have been much cooler, but it is what it is, I guess. At least you get more attack and crit damage on your single target attacks. So there's that. Maybe it'll help you kill someone. Then he has a passive. Enemies under block active skills, block buffs, and heal reduction debuffs cannot decrease this champion's turn meter. This is kind of stupid, unless you have somebody else who's helping you with these debuffs, because there's almost zero chance that he's going to get all 3 of those up on one hero. If it does happen, it's going to be like maybe 1 round where you can't decrease his turn meter. So, I mean, it's kind of a stupid skill, and it's just weird that you would have to have that as your passive. So, unless you're using other heroes that use these skills, this is probably not going to take effect very often. And if it does, what are the chances that on that 1 turn that somebody's going to reduce your turn meter? So it's a lot of what ifs to kind of make that work. So it isn't that great. He does have crit rate in dungeons by 24%, but if you're building your heroes a little more effectively than I am, you probably won't ever really need the crit rate in dungeons. You'll either use like damage or defense or things like that in dungeons. So essentially that's kind of a wasted aura. We do have him in the Phantom Touch Blessing and masteries. We went down a basic War Master with accuracies build. Nothing new here. It kind of seems to work with him, and it's nice. It works. I like it, and it's good. Now, as far as gear goes, we have him in some accuracy stuff and some kind of. I built him a little bit more defensive. One, because it was all I had at the time. I'm considering going back and just building him straight attack. So that is something that we will do probably. Now we do have him in a crit rate glove. We have him in a defense chest that I just happen to have, so it's not the best option. I think this is HP, so it was garbage. And then we have him in a speed boot. So he's not built to be as attacky as he should be. So that's something to think about when you watch this today. We can easily switch these sets out, give him some attack sets, and give him an attack chest, and then he'll do a ton more damage. So don't think that this is the best, be-all build. It's just what we've been using in Faction Wars because he doesn't die. And heroes like this, the attack ones, they tend to die a lot in there. And I've done it where a few times actually in some of the faction crypts where I've built them a little more defensively just because I don't need their damage, so to speak. The other heroes kind of do the damage, and I just need someone who can not die. And that's kind of what I use him for, and because he can do some, at least he can block buffs and do all that stuff. Total stats as of right now are 3,200 HP, 3,100 attack, almost 32. Probably could get him somewhere in that 4,000 range, and I think you'll see a lot better damage out of him. He's got 2,400 defense, 232 speed. So that was the main thing. We wanted him constantly being able to block buffs and do the block the block active skills. That's my main thing with him is I want him to be able to do that as much as possible so we can stop heroes from doing anything that we don't like. And getting him fast was kind of more important to me than making sure that he was a little more attack oriented. So just to kind of give you an idea, a little background as to why I did what I did. Once again, I think I'm going to be building him as more of an attack hero. I think we're going to end up pushing him to the lengths of damage that you'll see in most of my high-end damage dealers. His crit rate's 85, crit damage is 108. It is what it is. Like I said, we're going to get that up over 200 probably and get his attack in the 4 to 4,500. We also don't have a big blessing. I think we have a 1-star on him. So yeah, it's not even that good. Accuracy is at 286. So it's reasonable. I think we have an accuracy banner on him. Yes. So I may consider taking this off of him and putting it on one of my other heroes. But at the same time, he is doing really well with it. So maybe we could switch it out to do more attack, right? We have an attack one here. So yeah, here we go. Speed. We can get him faster and give him more attack and just drop his accuracy a little bit. But then he's going to risk not being able to land his stuff. So right now we're going to keep him where he is. And that's that. We've got him in a defensive amulet and an attack ring, but just because it's what I had. So once again, it's just what we had. We're really just going to see if he performs. Really not so much the damage output. I mean, he's going to do a reasonable amount of damage. I've seen him do pretty good damage in some of the things he's done. So if you build him with more attack, he definitely will do more. Now, I don't think that faction crypt is open, so we can't really show you in it. But as you can see, he is in, what is he in? He is Demon Spawn. So as you can see, we're at 60 stars in Demon Spawn. So getting him and Petrify into the mix for Demon Spawn Crypt has really helped us out a lot. We do use, what's his name? Drex, and I think we just put, what was his name? Diabolist into a stun set. So once that opens up in 7 hours, we're going to give it a shot and see how that goes tomorrow. And hopefully we get some wins because we're going to have a new stunner. We're going to have a new stunner in our midst, all right? But yes, they all replaced heroes like, I always want to say it, like Masquerade, whatever her name is, and Arrhenius, and heroes like that. These are the heroes that we've been replacing them with. So let's just check them out in the arena real quick. We'll see if they're any good. I know he's at least reasonable. I think we just went through these. Yeah, let's refresh. So let's see if there's any heroes that we can beat here. I don't really feel like doing crazy ones. This one looks kind of annoying, and it's a general fight that you'll see probably, so we'll try this. Now, he is magic affinity, which isn't going to really help me against Death Knight. So this could go poorly, but I think what we're going to do in this scenario is take her out, and we're going to bring in my girl, Soulbond. We're not going to auto this because I want to kind of see. I should have done it with the defense down, but, just so we can see a full damage in the arena. He's not meant to be in the arena right now. That's not his thing. So this is going to give him attack up and crit damage. So we're going to try that first. So we're going to start with this. I mean, as you can see, it didn't do too much. Now watch what your Carl's does, obviously. He's more attack-based, so he did 50k on that one hit. So, yeah, we could get him up to that. Now, we want to kill him. So there we go. That's why I brought him. And then we're going to start focusing on Syl and see if we can block active skills. So now we want to do, block active skills on her. But I think this one does more damage. So we're going to try this first because honestly, it's not the right option, but we're going to do it just to see the damage. So we did 19,000 with that, which isn't horrendous. Now she's frozen. All right, now we're going to take her turn meter. She's dead. And now we'll see how much damage this does, but he doesn't have the extra boost. So that did 5,000. Not great. But once again, his attack is he's not built for attack. He's built to do what he just did. So there we go. So they were able to win. He did 41,000. So he basically did what Soulbond did, but Soulbond one-shot somebody. So that's the difference. Let's see. Is there anyone else in here where we can do block active anything? Something that'll really show off his blocking skills. This is an annoying fight. Let's do it. I could keep her, but we don't have a Death Knight. So what we're going to do is bring her back in so we can see if he can do something with defense down. I'm curious. All right, so we do this, attack up. Now we've got the 50% attack. We've got defense. Nope, we didn't get defense down. So, oh well. Now we're going to use this skill. So yeah, he's doing about 10 to 12. I would assume if we built him up, he would do somewhere between 20 and 30. I mean, it's not ridiculously bad. And then we'll use the freeze here. See, he's doing like 20s and something. So I feel like you could get him up to that point where he's doing a reasonable amount of damage. Now we're going to try and take her out just because we don't want her dead. I know she's frozen. And then we're going to go for this guy because he is a jerk. Arctic is not that bad. So now this is block buffs. No, we want to block active skills on this guy. Actually, maybe on her because she can revive. So why don't we try that? So now she can't use her skill. So that's a win. And then we're going to take his turn meter. And then we are going to pop this guy in the face. Hopefully get him killed before he does his attack. We are not. So he got his buff in. But we are going to try and kill him now. All right, so now this one does block buffs. So now we can use this on him and kill him. So there we go. He does kill. So that's good. Like I said, he's not terrible. He's definitely a good hero, and I know he's going to work really well for a lot of you because he actually does work really well for me, especially in the areas that I use him in secret rooms and some other stuff. So we're going to keep sticking with this. We don't want her using any skills. Is really the goal here. We're going to try to remove these buffs, and we did not. Luckily, we can pretty much take her down with attacks now. We'll use this skill just because we can freeze her if it doesn't happen to work. And there you go. So we were able to win. So now he did 73,000. So he did more damage than War Maiden, not even built as an attack hero. And War Maiden, surprisingly enough, I have her built a little more attack oriented. So yeah, it is kind of surprising that he did out damage her. I'm not going to lie. She's usually a little bit better. So can you use him in the arena? Yeah. I mean, it depends. He's, once again, the more heroes you have in the arena, the better off you're going to be because you can bring in one hero or another to take down certain heroes. So, like, if you want to block buffs on somebody or block active skills on someone like a Helicath, then yeah, bring him in. He can block the active skills on your Helicath, and then you can focus on killing everyone or killing him before they do what they're supposed to do. So, is he good in the arena? I would say he's a good one-off for the arena when you're either not fast enough for a team, maybe, or when you just have that one, like I said, it's a one-off thing where you just need someone to kind of take care of a hero. So yeah, you could build him that way. Definitely accuracy on him is a big one. You're going to want to make sure that he can actually land those things. So having like a 2, 3, 400 accuracy on him would be very good. All right, so let's get out of here. As far as the dungeons go, there's no, did I use these keys? I did not, see? As far as the dungeons go, I can't say that there's any one of these bosses that I would recommend him for. Because Fire Knight, he doesn't really have any attacks that take the shield down. Dragon, I don't think you can even use half the stuff he has. He doesn't have a weaken or anything, so you can't even bring that to the table there. So I wouldn't bring him in Dragon's Lair unless you're building him for specifically to be like a nuker for the waves, maybe to help you get through something. But even then, I just there's better ways to do it. You could easily just put a stun set on somebody and probably crowd control the waves a little bit better. Ice Golem, he doesn't really bring much to that fight. And Spider, he has one AoE. And you don't really need the block active skills on the babies. You just got to let them on fire. So you actually don't want them dead. So yeah, there's really no dungeon specifically that I would say he's worth bringing into. We haven't really focused too much on Sand Devil and Shogun, so he's not really that great there either. But can we use him in here? Sure. I mean, just as a fun little thingy. Let's see. Where's my dragon team? We'll bring my dragon hard mode team in here. This one. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to do Dragon 20. Here we go. Dragon 20. We're going to keep the normal fight. So if I was going to bring him in, who would I use him with? I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't really replace him with anyone in here, but if we're going to pick one, I would say these two are more important than her. So we'll bring him in just to kind of see what he does. This is really just so you can see his ability and how he runs, and if he's good. Like, see, he does about 14,000. Kale's doing about 21. Kale's built about the same way as he is. Not exactly, but close. You know what I mean? Kale's just a beast, but he's also got way more attack than Scion. So, can you use him in here? Yeah, you could. It's not your favorite option, but it's a good one. The thing is by the time, and I think this is something I've seen a bunch of content creators say, by the time you get him, at least for the dungeons and stuff like that, you're going to have better heroes than him. And that's kind of the one-off from him. Now, he doesn't have a lot of crowd control, as you see, even with the block active skill, so we are still going to take some deaths, probably. But he is fast. We have him built fast so that he can constantly keep doing that attack and blocking skill. So, like, that's cool. It ignored shield, so that's good. So, like, this would be a good place to block active skills because now he can't heal, you know what I mean? So there are things that he is useful for. And if you're trying to make a team that looks really evil, he's probably one of the best heroes you could bring. You could bring him and Drex, and you have like a demon team, and everybody's on fire and murderous and evil looking. So if that's your kind of thing, yeah, he is. He honestly, Sion looks like a boss in like Bloodborne or Soul or a Souls game. That's what he looks like. He's like the final boss. He has the wings. He comes flying down with his staff, and you've got to kill him. And he does a bunch of annoying attacks to piss you off. See, block active skills. Now he can't speed everyone up and heal. So there's always a plus. There you go. Look at that. Blocking everything. He's blocking buffs. So now he can't get any buffs, and he can't heal himself, which is good. So that means you can keep killing him. See? So there are some things that he does bring to the table. So don't think that I'm telling you he's bad. He's not. He's actually he's a reasonable hero. That's what I will say. Is he the best one? No, but he's a reasonable hero, and he can and will more than likely help you out of some tough spots. And that's why I built him, because he definitely helps in faction crypt. He blocks and stops a lot of heroes from doing things. It's really good for certain heroes when you're down to like that one hero who always does that one thing that you freaking hate, and then you just block it. So yeah, he is a lifesaver in that respect. Okay, so he can do the block buffs on the boss. I don't know if he actually does an attack up or not, but if he does, he doesn't anymore. See what I mean? And he can't heal, which he doesn't do anyway, but so he brings a little bit to the table. You could use him in Fire Knight for a heal reduction if you really needed it, but that's up to you. I mean, even Crimson Slayer has a 3-hitter on her A1 and does the heal reduction. Granted, it's 50%, but I would take the 3-hitter over the heal reduction because I do turn meter manipulation in Fire Knight, so it doesn't really affect me too much. And I use straight poisons on the lower levels because you can just beat your way up through the fight. So it just depends on where you're at in the game and what you're doing. But remember, you're getting him after a year of playing, so you're definitely going to have something better. And that's my only gripe about him, honestly, is that he takes way too long to get for what he brings to the table. But he's still worth building. He's still going to help you out if you're having trouble in Faction Crypt, and he's still going to be good for Arena here and there and for other random Doom Tower fights or even secret rooms, things like that. So definitely build him. Don't make him a first string hero that you build, but yeah, like if you've got other heroes that you're working on that are better, I would build them way before him. But if you got no one to work on, like I am, like me, because I only get my login heroes once every like 2 or 3 months, then yeah, he's worth building and worth using. And he'll probably be better than a lot of the demon spawn that I have, at least. Maybe not you, because you've been summoning, or maybe not. But he's actually not doing bad. He's got the War Master proc, so let's see how much damage he did here. 21,000, that's not terrible on that. So, I mean, he did almost the same damage as Syl, which is not great, but not terrible. Especially considering he doesn't really do a lot of wave killing. You know what I mean? He has the one AoE, but it's not that great. So the fact that he did almost 1,000,000 damage in this fight with Syl, and Kale put up 1.6 doing poisons, I mean nonstop poisons, and having his AoE be insanely strong, that's reasonable attack power for this hero. So like I said, he's made to be defensive right now, and that's kind of just where we're at. And I don't know. I may not even change it because he does the job the way he is now. and we're going to need that defense to beat the final fight because those bosses in stage 21 they hit like a truck, and I don't know if I have a reviver for this team. I don't think I do. So that's why we made him more defensive. Yeah, so there you go. That's why. Eventually, if we beat it with him the way he's built, then I'm not going to change him because that's the whole point is that we want to beat Faction Crypt with him, and we don't need him for anything else. Would I bring him anywhere else? Probably not. I mean, it's conceivable you could bring him in Doom Tower. I'm not really high up. There's nowhere in here that I would specifically say he's worth bringing in. Uh, Bommel, he'll get obliterated. Scarab, he's useless. I mean, maybe here, block. I don't know if that. Yeah, but she transfers debuff, so it probably wouldn't even be good anyway. So, yeah, there's nowhere in here that I would specifically say, yeah, bring him into Doom Tower. He's a very specific hero, and there's not much that I would really need to show you outside of Faction Wars. You know what I mean? He's there to help you get through some stuff. Look, we're going to buy this because we want it. I have this habit where if it's lit up, I have to touch it. It's a rule. But yeah, that's basically it for Scion. There's not much to really discuss about him. He did what he was supposed to do. I mean, in the arena, he did what he was supposed to do. He blocked buffs on Syl, and he did his thing. He blocked active skills, and he did what he was supposed to do in the dragon. He did damage. He stopped what's his name, Apothecary from healing. He does what he's supposed to do, and he's a reasonable hero. And he looks badass, so you can look really cool while you kick the crap out of things. But yeah, that's all Scion is really good for. If you guys have a place that you use him for, or something specific that you think he is useful in, other than what we've really talked about, feel free to leave a comment below. I definitely think that this guy would benefit from being more of an attack hero and less of a defense hero in regular PvE content, but for Faction Wars, we're just going to have to stick through it here. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. He's been working so far, and we actually haven't even used him in Faction Crypt since I maxed him and got his masteries done. So he's only going to be better. All right, and as always, like, share, subscribe. It's very nice to get a new subscriber or a like on my channel. It's very nice to see that little thumbs up, and it's always good that people join us in our journey through the Mystery Shard world. All right, so this is Scion. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.